The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Earnestly Speaking podcast. I'm your host, Ernest Easy Person. It is one of my two favorite podcasts of the year. It's the Earnestly Speaking NFL wins, over-under wins totals. We do this every year. I say one of my two because the other one is the NBA version of this as well, too. Of course, on the line with me, every year we do this. It's now the 8th straight year we've done this. Zack The Gambling Degenerate with us. We're going to go over each team and see where they are according to Vegas numbers, wins and losses, how much wins they'll get, whether they go over the wins total or not. It's going to be a fun time as always. Zack, what's up, man?
Not much, man. It was really depressing looking at the NFC East.
Yeah, because really, if you think about it, the NFC East is a tale of two stories. You have two teams that are pretty good. I mean, assuming the Dallas, of course, get Ezekiel Elliott back in time, before the season starts, all that. Of course, Philadelphia, if Wentz is healthy, how good they can be. But then you have the other two teams, our two teams, in fact, Washington and New York, who are expected to be pretty bad this year.
Yes, and the problem is with their schedule lineup, they're going to start out pretty bad to begin with. And just as soon as they could make a turn to start winning a couple games, they're going to switch out the quarterbacks. So it's going to send them back into a free fall.
Yeah, both teams are kind of the same spot right now, Washington, New York, which of course we'll get into in a second. So let's start now. Let's not waste any more time because, and as always, we go in order, alphabetical order from A to, well, it'll be W, so Washington. So let's start first. Arizona Cardinals, over-under number at 5.5 wins. Last year, they finished the year 3-13. They had their first pick in the draft. They got Kyler Murray. They got new coach Cliff Kingsbury. Not a good preseason either. I mean, at least if you go by the narratives, of course. I am going to go under. I think I looked at the schedule real quick. I didn't do too much research on all these teams, but Arizona's one of the teams that I did look into. There's a chance for look. Let me just say real quick. I don't think it'll happen. But I think it's a really good chance Arizona could go 0-16. There's a distinct chance that it wouldn't shock me if that happened. I don't think it'll happen, but it could happen based on the schedule.
Yeah, I won't go that negative. I'm certainly taking the under. But they get two games that I think they have a legit shot at winning. They'll be on the road to Cincinnati, who I think is one of the worst teams in all of football. And then they play the New York Giants. So I feel like there's two wins there.
Yeah.
Maybe they pick up a third.
I saw maybe max 4 possible wins on that schedule. Max. And that's, yeah. Again, I'm pushing it there. So, but the under is the nut. I maybe bet this, to be honest with you. I saw some of these teams here, I'll be honest with you, like, I never bet futures in my life before. I think this year I might break that trend and actually start betting futures.
Oh, well, if you were to do that, I would start with this team. This is one of the easiest ones to take an under on.
Right. Okay. The next team here is the Atlanta Falcons. Their over-under is 8.5. Last year, they finished the year 7-9. A lot of injuries last year. They were competitive a lot of these games. I was saying last year that they were better than a record, but unfortunately, circumstances did not really help the situation. Their schedule's kind of tough. But I'm going to be bullish. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to take the over here. Now, how good they do, I'm not sure. But I think they can still get 9 wins at least. So I'm going to go over.
It's that half a game. So I can't have a push. I'm taking the under. I am not in love with this team. Their defense is hit or miss. And when you look at the schedule, you can pinpoint exactly which games you think they will win. And I feel like they finish 8-8.
It's also possible right now that they might play in the toughest division of football. Because even Tampa.
No.
I mean, even Tampa's a problem.
Yeah, I don't buy Tampa as being a problem.
Okay. Like the under in this one, huh? I'm a little shocked there. Okay. Speaking of shocking things, let's find out how you feel on this one. The Baltimore Ravens over/under is at 8. Last year they finished the season, I believe, at 10-6. I am correct. See, this is one of those teams in the division. Like, obviously, all the pub right now is going to the Cleveland Browns, what they've done in the offseason. Of course, the Steelers getting free of Bell and Brown. I think they'll do well this year. But Baltimore's one of those teams that can change the fortunes of those two teams by virtue of how well they do. Lamar Jackson experiment. We'll see how it goes in year 2. A lot of questions there. The defense is not as good as they used to be, but I think it'll still be solid. I'm going to take a push. They're one of the hardest outs in the entire league. They got John Harbaugh back. But the AFC is just so good. You know, the AFC is really, really good. So that being said, I'll take a push on it. I think they'll go 8-8. I think 8-8 is a sweet spot for them there. So
I completely agree with you. It's an 8-8 season. Mm-hmm. I think they split right down the middle with the Browns and Pittsburgh on the home and aways, and they're tough opponents. They're going to lose, and the easy games of, say, Miami and Arizona early in the season, they're going to win.
Right. By the way, I'm in the background. My not for the listeners. My son's here in the background. Fortunately, I don't have much time to record these days, so I'm taking any window I can. Normally, he takes a nap around this time, but because he's been on the weather, he slept in this morning. There's no way in hell he's gonna sleeping for his nap today. So what I have to do. So if you hear coughing in the background, baby in the background, maybe even a tablet, Star Wars in the background, that's my son playing in the background. So no big deal. So yeah, we both agree on the push. That's good. All right, this team, I'm really curious. You know, if I told you there are 5 teams I'm really intrigued by based on where they're at and what could happen. This team's one of the 5, the Buffalo Bills. Over/under at 7.5. Last year they finished the year at 6-10. Josh Allen's their quarterback. You know, part of me really wanted to take the over at 8-8, but I just can't go there just yet, man. I think they're still another offseason away from getting back to playoff contention. So I'm gonna go under here, slightly under. I think they'll be close to 7-19. I think they'll improve this year, by 1 game, but the under is probably the best bet here. I wouldn't bet it though, but I'll go the under.
And I'm right there with you, but I would take it a step further. I could see this being a 6-10 team.
Okay, it's like last year.
Yeah, exactly. I totally enjoy watching Josh Allen play quarterback. He is so fun to watch. He reminds me a lot of LA. But A, I do not believe in this coach, and 2, I just don't believe in that defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of question marks there, of course. I mean, the thing is they play in the AFC East. So, you know, obviously New England is the best team in the division, but there is an opportunity for the Bills to win between 2 and 4 games from both Miami and the Jets. Okay, that puts you at 4 wins at the max, and then you have a couple. You know, look through the schedule, and you might maybe find 3 more wins. Who knows? I don't know. But Buffalo, they're one of those teams where they're. I feel like they're on the way up, but just not yet. One more year, one more off season before we can start blaming the Bills. You know, so there we go. All right, the Carolina Panthers over-run number is at 8. Last year they were 7-9. Now remember, this team started the year really well. They were actually at one point at the halfway mark of the year one of my stubborn sleeper Super Bowl picks, and then they fell apart last year. I am going to go over. I know Cam Newton's hurt, but I think with you know, I don't know. I think this team's actually a lot better than people get credit for. I think Ron Rivera, I mean, he's under pressure as it is right now. So I'm gonna go over. I think they'll win probably 9 or 10 games this year. Assuming Cam Newton's healthy, of course.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not even sure it's up to Cam. If they lose their running back in McCaffrey, their entire offense will just go straight down the tubes. But if everyone stays healthy, I can see 9-7. I don't see double-digit wins, but I can see 9-7.
Yeah, this is one of those teams again in NFC that, you know, I wouldn't put them as a Super Bowl favorite, but one of those teams that it can make things interesting. You know what I mean? So yeah, but again, you know, Cam's health obviously is a big deal. He's there's word that he is up in the air for Week 1, so we'll see what happens there. But I don't know, I think Cam will play most of the year, and they'll figure it out. So, Alrighty. Next team here, we have the Chicago Bears, a team that overachieved last year at 12-4. Their over-under number this year is 9. I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and I know a lot of my friends who are Bears fans, and most notably GW Gross comes on this podcast quite often. Diehard Bears fan, in fact, hosts a Bears podcast. I gotta go under here this one for the Bears, and I'll tell you why. It's less to do with the Bears and more to do with the division and the teams around them, who I think will be better than they were last year, because their circumstances are better now than they were last year. So I'm gonna go under in the Bears. I think they'll be more closer to an 8-8 team. Doesn't mean they won't be good, but I just think Green Bay and Minnesota, for example, will be better.
I know this will sound almost like a oxymoron, where you can get better but actually have a worse record.
Mm-hmm.
I will still take the over on the total. I think they could win 11 games.
Right.
I think they get better on offense, another year for Trubisky in the system, and the defense doesn't go away. When you have a legit defense, it's always there. That's one thing that shows up, and I'm a believer in this team.
I mean, like I said, anything can happen. I don't know, man. The MC, it's so wonky. I mean, if Trubisky takes the next step, then I'm with you. But I'm not a big believer in Trubisky just yet. Not just yet. I think it's decent, but I don't know. I gotta see the next step, man. This is year 3 now for him, so we'll see. Okay, so next team here rather is the Cincinnati Bengals. The over/under on them this year is 5.5. They went 6-10 last season. I was kind of sort of like wondering if they would probably get 6-10, but with the Browns getting better this year, I think the Ravens will be solid this year. The Steelers are going to still be pretty good in my opinion. Somebody's got to take the bait. Somebody's got to be the cellar dweller. I'm going under on the Bengals. Now you just said a little while ago that they're maybe the worst team in the league.
Oh, I do. I can't imagine them winning more than 4 games all season. This will be one of those teams that competes for one of the top 2 picks in the draft.
Wow. It's funny. I think I texted you about 2 weeks ago who I thought were the 4 worst teams in football going into the year. They weren't one of them. Now you started to convince me about that, though. I don't know.
Well, it came down to just looking at their schedule. And in the last 10 weeks of the season, you could maybe find 2 wins. And it comes to that point where, will the new coach make a change at quarterback when the team starts to go on a free fall? Will the team just implode in general? And then you have AJ Green's out.
Yeah, he's out. Is he out a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So he comes back, and he tends to be injury prone the last couple of years. Does he even want to risk it?
What are the odds he asks you to request a trade?
I would. If I was him, I would be asking for a trade because it's your only shot at ever winning again.
Also, new coach, too. Don't forget that. New coach as well. No more Marvin Lewis. So, not saying that, they'd be better with him at this point, but, it's a whole new system, I'm assuming, so. Alrighty. Anyway, next team here, we have the most exciting team coming to the season. That is the Cleveland Browns. The over-under number is at 9. Of course, last year they went 7-8-1. Now, this is also coming off a 0-16 season, so let's also use that for context here. Okay. I'm not like everybody else in the country, heavily believing the Browns being this Super Bowl contender, but I think they're going to win more than 9 games. I have them as a wild card in the AFC, not the division winner, but as a wild card. So I'll take the over on 9 wins for the Browns this year.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I would take the over just at the schedule. They're playing the NFC West and the AFC East. So you got a couple garbage teams in both divisions that you're going to pick up easy wins on. And then you're guaranteed the 2 wins against Cincy, I believe. I think 10 wins is very doable for this team.
Yeah. That's where I got them, at 10-6 this year. That's where I got them, 10-6. So we're on the same page there. Okay, next team here. We have the Dallas Cowboys, who have their own issues right now going on. Right now, the over-under is also 9. Last year, they were 10-6. Won a playoff game last year against Seattle. Now, of course, you have the issues. Of course, Ezekiel Elliott still holding out, which I think will be resolved before week 1. I'm just guessing that. Of course, Dak Prescott wants to get paid big bucks, so it's a big year for him as well too. I'm still going over. Again, Dallas, one of those teams in the NFC that, if we're talking about contenders in the NFC, we talk about Eagles, we talk about Rams, and maybe one more team in there, Saints. But then I think there are teams like we said with Carolina who can muck things up in the NFC. Dallas, one of those teams also too. I'm gonna go over as well at 9.
I pegged them at 9 wins on the season.
So
I don't think I don't see Ezekiel Elliott as making any difference whether he's there the first 4 games of the season or not. If they do worse than 3-1, it would be a shock to me. It's set up so easy. The real question comes down to whether or not Ezekiel's smart enough to come back in time to get a year of service to further along his contract, or if he sits out towards the end of the year. Now, if he sits out the entire year, they may not even go 9 wins.
See, my thing was this too, is that I'm only taking the over because I expect to be back. But Ezekiel Elliott is one of those players that, to me, he's the difference between the Cowboys winning 10 games and losing 10 games. Because they're so reliant on him. Because Dak isn't that guy yet. Dak isn't that quarterback.
Dak sure looked like that quarterback anytime he's had an actual wide receiver to throw to. Even when Dez Bryant's career was starting to decline, he looked like a better quarterback. When you trot out Cole Beasley as your number 1 wide receiver, it's really hard to be good.
You're that guy, huh?
I really think Dak is an underrated quarterback. And I also believe that with that offensive line, just about any running back in the league can run for 1,200 yards and look like a stud.
You're not wrong there, but I think Zeke is special too, though. I mean, they're sort of relying on him, though. That's the thing. And I agree with Dak. I like Dak. I think Dak is a lot better than people give credit for. I don't think he's terrible. But I don't think he's Tom Brady either. You know what I'm saying? He's somewhere in the middle. But this is a big year for him. This is a big year he can break through, and maybe the Cowboys do justify paying that kind of money. We'll see. All right. The Denver Broncos over-under is at 7 wins. Last year, of course, they were 6-10. They were actually hanging around week 13 for the wild card spot, and then they just kind of faded late in the year. I'm gonna go push because again, same issue with the in the AFC. Too many good teams. Somebody's gonna be bad, and I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be bad, but somebody's gonna be this 8-8, 7-9 team. So why not Denver? I'm gonna go push.
No, absolutely. I honestly, I'm taking a push, and I think the only way that they could get an over is maybe if they steal the first game of the season.
Who they play?
In Oakland.
Ooh.
Yeah. Otherwise, the best they can hope for is 7-9.
Right. I mean, you're in the division with Kansas City. You're in the division with the San Diego Chargers. I still call them San Diego. You still have the Browns getting better. Ravens still pretty good. Patriots. So many good teams. AFC South teams still decent. Something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? They're not there yet. I mean, and they got Joe Flacco too. I mean, maybe Flacco has a resurgence. I don't know. I mean, you were a big Flacco at once upon a time. You think Flacco bounces back or what?
Oh, compared to last year, absolutely. Now, will he have a career resurgence? I don't know about that. What made him so great a few years ago was having a deep threat. Now, I don't see that on Denver's offense.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders, he's more of an underneath slot guy. And Sutton, he's a big body, but he's not an ultra-fast downfield threat.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, again, another team that I'm kind of interested in looking at, more so because of Flacco, but their defense is still pretty good. So we'll see what happens there. All right, the Detroit Lions over-under is at 7. Last year, they were 6-10. They're actually one of the better 6-10 teams in the league last year, to be honest with you. I don't believe in every team being terrible because of the record. Sometimes circumstances, sometimes where they're at, all that. I think Detroit's one of those teams. I'm going to go under again, unfortunately, though, because, again, it's for the same reason why I have Chicago going under. Teams get better, circumstances get better. Their division with Minnesota, who I think will be better. probably the best roster in the entire division. Green Bay gets Aaron Rodgers back. Hopefully he bounces back. Something's got to give. I mean, Detroit, I can see another 6-10 type season going on.
For me, I believe this is your mortgage payment. You pound the under like there is no tomorrow. There is no chance they even have a shot at sniffing 6 games.
I love how you I love your whole mortgage payment bets. That's how I know you're passionate about a pick. We start talking about mortgage payments on that. Given the fact, and also given the fact you actually are a new homeowner too.
You only have to look at their schedule and look at the fact they have to play the AFC West. There's no chance they get to 7 wins.
Okay, let's do this here now. The Green Bay Packers stay in the NFC North. Their over-under, of course, is 9 wins last year. Tough season. Aaron Rodgers was a good portion of that. They were 6-10. I'm going to hold my nose here, Zach, and go over. Only because I'm not sure if Rodgers will be healthy. And Matt LaFleur, first-year head coach, will it work out? I'm going based on just history and Rodgers being healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy. And just hold my nose in it. I wouldn't bet it, but I'm going to take the over just because it's Aaron Rodgers.
I'm right there with you. I'm taking the over with the prayer that he survives the first 4 games of the season. If you can get to those first 4 games and not be injured, Green Bay will win 10 games. But those first 4 defenses are insane for him to have to go up against.
Who are the first 4 games, you know?
They're on the road at Chicago. Then they're home to Minnesota, home to Denver, and home to Philly. But all of those teams have defensive lines that can just get after the quarterback.
Oh, man. Are you serious? Eesh.
Yeah. I mean, you could maybe stretch Dallas with one defensive end, but those first 4 just look so scary to me.
Right.
That it comes down to Aaron Rodgers' health, and if he's smart enough to not be a hero and take a hit.
I agree with you 100%. And again, also the LaFleur hire too. We'll see how that works out. A lot of skepticism behind that, from people. We'll see. All right, next team here we have the Houston Texans. Over under is at 8. I think the number one. I actually think the number one up now. It is 8.5 now, I believe, since the Andrew Luck announcement, which we'll get to in a second. Regardless, 8.5, 8 doesn't matter. I'm going over. It doesn't matter. Deshaun Watson, top 6-7 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. Hopefully the O-line's better this year. It's funny. Last year the O-line was horrible, and they still won. What was it? 11 games last year. And that's what started 0-3 for the record. Remember that? So, Deshaun. The only thing I will say, the Lamar Miller injury might be a bigger deal. We'll see if they can get somebody in there to replace him, to production wise. But otherwise, I'm taking the over still. I think also with Andrew Luck being gone too, especially, you got to figure an extra win there for Houston probably is in the works somewhere.
Yeah, I love the over here. And if, for instance, they could maybe swing that trade with Miami, where they get Larry Tunsil at offensive tackle for Jadeveon Clowney, I would make that trade in a heartbeat.
And twice on Sunday. Absolutely.
And if you could do that, I could see them going 13-3. Just to have some line protection would be all the world of difference.
Yeah. Again, that line was bad last year, and it went 11-5. Okay? They can't be worse than they were last year. They really can't. For a team as good as this, They really can't. So, that being said, I will over as well. Okay. Here we go. Indianapolis Colts. Over-under now has went down. It was 9.5 at one point. Now, when Andrew Luck announced retirement, it's down to 7.5 now. I'm going to hold my nose on this one, Zach. You and I were together actually watching the Florida-Miami game when the news hit about Andrew Luck. We were in shock in the moment, you and I both. So, I'm going to go over still. I like their team. Jacoby Brissett's still pretty good. They're an 8-8 team, though, with Jacoby Brissett. With Andrew Luck, they're probably 10-6 and better. With Brissett, 8-8 with their roster. I go 8-8, man. They were 10-6 last year, and I think they're better now than they were last year, minus the quarterback situation.
I lean the other way. I'm going to take the under. Maybe they sniff out 7 wins. They could maybe sniff out the 7 wins with the schedule. But I feel like last year was their Cinderella year. Everything worked out for them. The defense was better than anyone could have imagined. Their offensive line played out of this world.
And now they're better, too.
Even if
And now
their
the line's better.
offensive line, even if the offensive line were to do what they did, Brissett does like to run a little, and that's going to lead yourself to give up a few more sacks, and he's going to be a little more hesitant. So I'm going to still take the under, and I'm going to go seven wins max.
Alrighty, let's go next one here. The Jacksonville Jaguars over-under number is 7.5. Last year they were 5-11. Disappointment year, to say the least, considering the year before that they were literally minutes from going to the Super Bowl. Nick Foles is their quarterback. Yet I'm still going under. I think they'll be better than last year, probably a little bit, but I don't think they'll be more. I don't think they're better than a 6-10 team right now.
Damn, you are so disrespectful against that defense.
I think they're good.
I'm going to implore you to think about their defense because I will take the over. Just by a smidge. I'm not saying it's going to be huge. I'm going to say 8 wins.
Let me ask you this.
500 teams.
Let me ask you this then. If Luck didn't retire, and let's say Luck was healthy, real quick, are you still taking the over on the 7.5?
No.
See?
But here's the thing. Now with Luck out, I think they win that last road game of the season, or the last home game of the season, against the Colts. And I think that gets them to 8-8.
I was worried about Nick Foles. Like, Nick Foles was good in the moment to take over when we needed him in the moment. But I think people forget that Nick Foles was pretty bad last year to start the year before Wentz came back. And we're not even sure if Foles is a good quarterback for 16 games straight. At least we haven't seen Foles start an entire season in quite a while. And, right, even as good as the defense could be and is, your quarterback still lose your games. And then what? You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm more skeptical on Nick Foles than the defense. That's why
I also remember that Philly defense being atrocious early in the season. Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick looked like an MVP candidate against them.
Well, he torched New Orleans too, to be fair as well. So
yeah. So now you're talking about a team who shows up every week on defense.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So we have disagreement there. Okay. Next team here, the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, with probably the best quarterback in the league right now, and Patrick Mahomes. Their over-under is 10.5. Last year, they were 12-4, number 1 seed in the AFC. Probably should have been in the Super Bowl last year by virtue of the D4 defensive snafu, but it is what it is. Obviously, I'm going to go over here. I think they're going to be probably the best team in the AFC, probably the best team in the league this year. They'll probably win at least 11 games. The defense still an issue, but again, they were an issue last year. So I don't think Mahomes will be as good as he was last year, but that doesn't matter. If he still throws to 4,500 yards, they're still winning 11-plus games. So the over is easy for me.
Oh, I love the over in this team. This is one of those times where I told you earlier in the day, some of the overs are just begging you to bet on, and this would be one of them. You look at the first 7 weeks of this season, they could be 7-0. There's no team other than maybe Houston that challenges them. So 12-4 should be a gimme for this team.
Basically last year, all over again.
Yeah. And as far as D Ford is concerned, I guess you got to give him props for, not killing himself after the game.
That had been painful, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's either not giving him credit for not killing himself, or you give the rest of the guys in the locker room credit for not killing him.
It is what it is, man. I mean, the NFL. And they made the right call. That's the thing. People was like, "Oh, they made that call. They made the right call. It was correct." So, much as I hate to say that, but it was the right call. All right. Next team here, we have the San Diego Chargers. I'm gonna say it again. San Diego Chargers. LA Chargers, whatever. Over number is at 10. Last year, 12-4. I kind of feel like this number is a little too big. But that being said, because of their roster, I don't know. I'm not going over in this one. I have push right here, but I'm starting to think maybe I should go under in this one. I'm gonna go under on the Chargers. I'm gonna go under. I think it'd be 9-7, but for Phil Rivers to duplicate what he did last year again at his age, and remember he's still a gunner, So I don't know. I'm gonna go under here. I think 9-7 is probably more of a sweet spot for the Chargers. They'll be in the mix for a playoff spot, and we'll see what happens from there.
If they played a tougher schedule to start the season, I would take the under with Darwin James out and the running back out. But the fact they get 3 easy games out of 4 to start, I'm going to take the over.
Okay. That's gutsy.
I think scheduling sometimes is so key to a team's success.
Agreed. The Bears last year, for example, had a easy schedule, which is why they got 12-4. But I think the circumstances, again, also the Chargers too, as well. The conference is a little bit better now. On paper, the Browns are going to pick up some wins now. A couple of teams around going to pick up some wins, So there are a lot of bottom feeders. That's why I think they'll be in the mix. And also the Melvin Gordon thing. I mean, that's cost you at least 1 or 2 games, right? Got to, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So there you go. So I don't know. I like the 9-7, and I think Rivers. It's gonna be hard for Rivers to duplicate what he did last year. So I'm being a little more down the middle. They're not gonna be bad. They're gonna be in the mix. So that's all I'll say. Okay, the other LA team, the LA Rams, over under at 10. Last year, of course, they were in the Super Bowl at 13-3, representing the NFC. Unfortunately, they looked like absolute dog shit in the Super Bowl. That Patriots defense stifled them up. Jared Goff looked like a deer in headlights. And then, of course, Todd Gurley. This is the story for them. Todd Gurley. End of the year, mysteriously not playing well, and his knee's an issue, and could be an issue moving forward for the rest of his career. Yet, I will still go over because that team right now, top to bottom, is still pretty damn talented. I think this is their all-in year. This is it for them. If they're going to win a Super Bowl, this is the year to do it. So I'm going to go over, though, at 10.
Oh, I totally agree. I think they could go 13-3. They get to play one of the easiest schedules in all of football, and if they could just find another running back to pick up after the cuts are made, they are the NFC Championship representative. It would be a disappointment if you don't make the NFC Championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. NFC West obviously is a shoo-in. Well, yeah, for the most part. I would say it's still a shoo-in for the most part by virtue of the roster. To me, it's between them and Philadelphia in the NFC, honestly. Assuming, well, we'll get there. Assuming all things are equal, like injuries not an issue and all that. We'll get there in a second.
I am a big believer in Chicago, so.
You are. You really are.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's gonna be a fun year. Okay. Whew. This is the worst one. This is the worst overrunner of the soiree here. The Miami Dolphins, our hometown team here. Over-under is 4.5. Zach, I don't think I've seen a low number this low in Vegas in years. And I'm not even joking.
Oh, yeah, because they had to do the half. Otherwise, you're looking at, 5 or a 4? And no one wants to bet 4 and get a push, so they had to do the half.
I think what Vegas is telling you, bro.
Yeah, I would still take the under.
I'm taking the under myself. In fact, Vegas is telling you that it could be worse, but we want to go too low. Want you guys to maybe bet 5-11. No, this is a 2-14, 3-13 team easily. Okay, not even a conversation on that one. Yeah. So I'm going under.
This is one of the few wins I think the Redskins pick up all season.
Yeah, and the Giants too.
Well,
stop it. You stop that now. Alrighty, the Minnesota Vikings over under 9 wins. Last year, of course, disappointing season. They won. Had 8 wins last year. I believe they went 8-7-1. I believe last year. I don't know. I think this should improve. I think that the roster alone makes that be proven viable. Kirk Cousins just has to be good, not great. Just good, just to get him 10 wins. I think they'll get there this time.
No, I agree. And for me, this was one of the hardest to do because Kirk Cousins is an absolute loser on prime time.
Yeah.
And they had 5 games in prime time this year. It made it so hard to take the over. But they are such a loaded team that I have to expect that they are better than last year.
Yeah, got to. And Devin Cook's back, of course, too, and all that. So
please let that kid stay healthy for one season.
Hell yeah, man! That's our boy, Florida State. Come on now. All right, the world champs, New England Patriots, over under, of course, 11.5. What else is new? I'm gonna go over because again, AFC East. That's virtually 4 to 6 wins easily for you guys. And then find 6 more wins easily. I don't know. The Pats, it just seems like they'll lose Gronk and they'll be okay. Now, how they do in the playoffs is another story. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go over, in terms of the season, I'm going to go over on this one, 11-5. They were, by the way, last year, 11-5 as well, too, last year. So.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I feel like it's a very safe bet to take them on the over.
Mm-hmm.
You've got legit 9 easy wins, maybe 10 easy wins. It is such an easy schedule. I don't even know how it's fair.
Right. Ain't fair at all. Brady's, I don't know, how much more time Brady, it seems like every year we do this, though, you and I, Zach, for the last 5 years, is this gonna happen? His downfall happened this year. And every year we come back to, this time of year, do this very same podcast, and Tom Brady is still the guy. 42 years old. He's still the guy. How many more times is he going to do this, you think?
As long as the AFC East stays as garbage as it is, why would you get out?
Mm-hmm.
You can just keep padding every stat in the NFL record books.
I agree. At least the AFC East is theirs, but easily. So, all right. The New Orleans Saints. This is the one team I'm pretty. I don't know. This is the team I'm questioning here. The Saints over under 10 wins last year, 13-3. Losing the NFC title game in a game they maybe should have won, but don't let Saints fans get all too out of sorts about that one. I've been saying all offseason that I expect a drawback. How big a drawback, I don't know. 10 wins is a lot of wins, though. I mean, you still got Alvin Kamara. Michael Thomas, still really good, but it's Drew Brees. Drew Brees at the end of the year kind of fell apart. No one's talking about that.
He can't throw 15 yards down the field. That's why no ref was ever looking at that wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Drew Brees can't throw anymore.
I agree. I have push right here at 10-6. I'm gonna go under.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go under. I'm as bullish on it.
Yeah, this is what I was referring to as it's not that tough of a division. Like they're all gonna be around 500, and then there'll be Tampa at the bottom. There's not a lot of talent there on defense. I know they play up to what talent level they have, but sometimes you just look at it and go, God, how'd they pull that off? And this year, I don't think you're going to be able to say it. I really think 8-8's going to be a good season.
That's where I'm at also too. I'm kind of like in the 8-8. When I start, before I even saw these numbers, I was saying 8-8 is likely because I think, as I said, some teams get better, and then some teams have to suffer as a result of that. And Saints are one of those teams that could suffer for that. I think 13-3 was a bit, of an anomaly last year. I know they were good last year to some degree, but Drew Brees fell apart, and they had a relatively easy schedule at the end of the year. So even though they were playing pretty bad, they had some really easy games down the stretch. So I don't know. I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go under. So I'm glad you and I are on the same page there. Okay. Here we go. My team, the New York Football Giants, over under at 6. Last year, end of the year, 5-11. I'm going under. It's that simple. This is going to be Eli's last year probably. Daniel Jones will probably at some point get the reins. I don't know when it's going to happen. I think they'll show some promise, some degree, in moments. You got Saquon Barkley, of course, too, and Odell's gone. Stone Shepard stays healthy. Maybe he do something here. Golden Tate missed the first 4 games. Obviously, that hurt a little bit, but I think there will be stretches during the year where they'll show some promise, but no more than 5 wins for me. So 6. The under is easy here for me.
All right, you're gonna hear from me, and please don't cry. But I think Daniel Jones starts in Week 7 against Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give him something super easy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they maybe bust out for two wins in the first 6 weeks. I don't want to tell you who.
It is a manageable schedule. I saw the schedule. They could go 2-2. Start the year.
But then you look at the end of their season schedule, and it's
bad.
Brutal.
Yes.
And about the only one who will shine on that team is Mr. Garbage Yardage, the captain. Do you know who the Garbage Yardage Man of the Year was last year?
Was it Evan Ingram?
No, it was Saquon Barkley.
Oh. You were saying catchers. I thought I was thinking receivers. Sorry. But yeah.
The most ultimate garbage yardage player I've ever seen.
It's a fantasy darling, though. I'll tell you that. It's a fantasy football darling. At least this year. So, are you going under?
Absolutely, I'm going under.
Excellent. See? We agree. All right. Next team here, the other team in New York, the Jets. Over under 7.5. Last year, end of the year, 4-12. Remember, this is Sam Darnold's second year now. They got Le'Veon Bell as well, too. Another of my top 5 most interesting teams because of I don't think they're a playoff team just yet, but they're like Denver or who else I mentioned earlier in the podcast. That's like one more Buffalo. They're right there, maybe one more year away from probably being a true playoff contender. I'm gonna go under. I think they'll be 7-9 this year.
I think they maybe win one more game than their fellow New York teams.
Easily.
They win 6 games. All right.
Okay.
That's it. And that's saying a lot for Le'Veon Bell. That's saying he's worth 2 wins on his own, really.
Right. That's true. I don't know. One more year for the Jets. I mean, I like Sam Darnold. He showed a lot of promise in moments last year. But I think this team still has a lot of spots to fill. And Adam Gase is a crazy person. Can I just say that?
He might be crazy, but he can do wonders with the quarterback if he stays healthy.
Sure can. I'll give him that. All right, next team here, we have the Oakland Raiders, of course. Hard knock zone. Oakland Raiders, over-under for the Raiders at 6 wins. Last year, they finished the year at 4-12. It was a disaster for John Gruden and company. They get Antonio Brown. That helps some degree. At least a bit of a distraction on the team, though, too. But I'm gonna go under, man. I think they're a 5-11 team still. I think they're still in that range. I think Denver's better than they are. I think obviously the Chargers and the Chiefs are as well too. And all the distractions and how many games Antonio Brown actually plays this year too. On top of that, he may be disciplined for a couple of games because of his antics. I'm going under. This is safe. Let's go under and call it a day.
I'm right there with you. I was thinking 5-11 as well. But after listening to you talk about the Colts, I think I might have to change it and make it 4-12 instead.
Ooh!
Because I had them beating the Colts on the road. But maybe you are right. They are a better team than I'm giving them credit for.
Also,
so I'll make them 4-12.
I hate saying this too.
We're not the same.
Right. Also, I hate saying this as well. Are we sure that Derek Carr is good anymore? Like, I love Derek Carr, but are we sure he's good still? Or, I don't know.
I would say Derek Carr is better at quarterback than John Gruden is at head coach.
That's the bar set low there, though. I'm not a big Gruden guy, so you telling me that ain't really helping the argument. And this is a guy I won a Super Bowl for, too, for the record. With Tony Dungy's players, for the record. But
exactly. He sends a Christmas card every year.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are over/under at 10.5. Last year, finished the year 9-7. Now Carson Wentz missed a chunk of the year last season. They won a playoff game as well too in Chicago. Probably should beat New Orleans too in the second round as well. You guys know this already. You know this, Zach. I'm not an Eagles fan at all. In fact, this is the one franchise I detest in sports. But I call like I see it. This team, when healthy, when Wentz is healthy, Wentz is a top 5 quarterback in the league when he's healthy. This team is very talented. I'm going to go over. This is actually my Super Bowl pick. My Super Bowl NFC representative this year. The Eagles. Over 10.5.
I won't go as far as you with Super Bowl. Because until I see Carson Wentz really shine in the playoffs, I could never do that. But I do think they win more than 10.5 games.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm totally with you. All right. Next team here, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over/under is at 9. Last year they finished the year at 9-7. Now, of course, remember this year Antonio Brown got traded away. Le'Veon Bell, of course, was franchised but never played his franchise tag, so he's gone now too as a free agent. I'm going to say this much. I've been saying this all summer long, and I'm going to say it here too on this podcast one more time before the year starts. Addition by subtraction. The Steelers get rid of all the distractions and all that. I think if you're looking for a nice value MVP candidate to bet on, Big Ben Roethlisberger is the guy to look at. Okay, I think by getting rid of by getting rid of 2 distractions. Let's just say it's called what it is. It actually might galvanize that locker room and Mike Tomlin. And I think the Steelers will go over 9 wins. I think they win the division as well too.
You know, it really pains me to give them any credit. But when I started looking at the end of their season, the schedule was just too easy. And so I'll give them 10 wins.
Okay. Is that a division? Is that a division win too, or a division title, or is that a wild card, or maybe not?
It might be wild card. I don't think they win the division because honestly, I think Cleveland will beat them twice.
Oh wow! So you're high on the Browns. Okay.
It's not just being high on the Browns. It's just where the Browns are good and where the Steelers have weaknesses. I think it plays in favor of the Browns.
Right. Good point. Okay. We're both going over though. Okay. Next team here, the San Francisco 49ers. Over/under is 8.5. Last year they finished the year at 4-12. Of course, remember they lost their quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe week 3. So obviously that would play a part in their record. But I gotta be honest with you, I haven't watched much preseason football. But hearing some of the pundits I trust, he's looked terrible.
Yeah, what do you expect? I mean, the guy hasn't played a full season of football, NFL football, in his career yet.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you were to add up all of his games, it's not even a full season.
I agree. Yeah, that's true.
And then, again, you look at their schedule, and 6 wins is all I can see because they have a terrible weapons at wide receiver and running back, in my opinion. They have a nice tight end, and they might have a pretty decent defensive line now after the offseason. But that's about all they got.
Zach, 8.5 wins. This might be the biggest lock of all these lines here. I'm not even joking. The under, I'm saying.
Yeah, no. For me, that Detroit one is the best lock of the season.
The only reason why I wouldn't agree on that one is that Matt Stafford is still decent. You're not a big. Are you a big Stafford guy, aren't you? No, you like Stafford. I think it was our buddies James and Eric that can't stand him. I think I'm more in the middle with Stafford. I think it's better than people give him credit for. But he's not freaking top 10, but he's definitely top 15.
Exactly. He's not top 10, but everybody overlooks the fact Detroit hasn't had a running game since Barry Sanders retired.
Exactly.
And they haven't had a defense since probably before I was born.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, I'm going under on the Niners. This is actually the easiest pick of the entire thing, honestly. 8.5 wins? Sign me up, man. Sign me up. And especially in that division, Seattle and the Rams, please. They're not going to win more than 6 games either. I believe that. All right, next team here, the Seattle Seahawks. Over/under for the Seahawks is at 8.5. Last year they won 10-6 in a year that people thought they'd fall back. But of course, people don't believe in Russell Wilson still, and that's fine because you know what? He's a top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league, in my opinion. That's simple. You know my rule. You know my lingo too here. When you have an elite quarterback, you'll guarantee 8 wins. Russell Wilson, elite quarterback, 8 wins easily. Can you find 2 more plus 1 wins here? I think you can. Over for the Seahawks.
The over was what? 9.5?
8.5.
8.5.
That's stealing money.
I'll take the over. Yeah, I'll easily take the over in that.
Home field advantage. It's easy to go 6-2 at home.
Yeah. When you're getting 2 games against Arizona and San Fran, you got 4 games right there. If you can't pick up 5 more games in your entire season, then something's up.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. So over as well too. Okay. Here is one I'm kind of sort of weird on right now, honestly. And that's the Buccaneers. Over/under 6.5. New coach, Bruce Arians, who I love. Jameis Winston. While you and I are Knowles fans, we have always been pretty bullish on him in terms of what he can do, can't do, and his behavior off the field on that. But he actually had a better year than people give credit for last year. If you look at some of the, crunch some of those numbers, a lot better year than you realize. He's definitely better than Mariota. Let's put it that way. The Bucs always have talent. This can't put together. But for some reasons, I got a feeling this team's going to be a lot better this year than they were last year. Last year, the final 11, over under 6.5. I'm going to go over. I think this would be an 8-8 team at least.
You have wanted Jameis Winston to win in the NFL since he came into the NFL. Ernest.
Yeah.
Change your pick now. There is no chance in hell they get the over.
You know what, Zach, you know what it is, though, honestly? I got a lot of faith in Bruce Arians. That's probably why. If Bruce Arians can't fix this guy, nobody can. And you know this.
You don't even have a deep threat anymore. All you have to do is do an over-under coverage on Mike Evans, and you've eliminated all of their offensive weapons.
All right. You're going under, of course, right?
Absolutely, I'm taking the under.
I think this is going to be a team you and I are going to fight over a year long. When we do a mid-season check-in on the where we're at with the over-unders, I think this is going to be one of the biggest debates here. We'll see what happens. All right. Next team, 2 more teams to go here. The Tennessee Titans, over-under is 7.5. Last year, they ended the year 9-7. Missed the playoffs on the final day of the season because of the Colts. Andrew Luck, of course. I think because of Luck being gone now, this number shifted for me because I had this team at 7-9 originally. Now with Luck gone, that's a win somewhere. So I'm gonna go over 8-8-ish.
Yeah, no, I can see 8-8, and the sad thing is I could see them finishing 500. Mariota not returning, and Jameis Winston on the other hand having another losing season and getting some massive contract by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's been better recently, though. He's been better. Look at the numbers, dude. It shocks me. I agree with you what you're saying, but it shocks me to look at these numbers like, wow.
You know what number matters to me? There's 2 of them.
What?
Turnovers and wins. And you know who leads in wins? Mariota.
You know what? You know also matters too. Also, availability. The same. And I love Mariota. You know I love Mariota. I was big on him coming
so
to
think
college.
about that. Mariota can miss games and still win more games than Jameis Winston. Well, and which one leads with the turnover?
Are we putting that all on Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Are we putting all that on Winston though too? I mean, is that a bit of unfair? Just a tad? Just a little bit, buddy?
Throwing interceptions and the triple coverage is on the quarterback. There's no one else to blame when you throw into triple coverage.
Well, Tennessee could be another one of these teams for us too. Also, we get a debate on. We'll see. Well, no, actually, no. We have the over. Both have the over on this one. Never mind. At least Tennessee and Tampa in terms of the quarterback situations. We'll see. I mean, Mariota, this is it for him too. Like Winston, this is a big year for him. So, All right, every year we do this. We end it with your team, the Redskins, over under 6.5. That's actually pretty high in my opinion.
I totally agree.
That's a really good number.
But then I start thinking, can we beat the Giants once? Yes.
Yes.
Can we beat the 49ers? Yes. Can we beat the Cardinals? Yes. Can we beat Buffalo and the Jets and Detroit? Yes.
So it gets touchy.
And the most I can see is 6 wins, so I'll still take the under.
What a tease. What a tease, dude. Do we see Haskins at some point this year?
Oh, yeah. I would say we see Haskins in week 6 against Miami. You've got to be smart about when you bring along your rookie quarterback. If you're not going to just let him start the season, you need to make sure you bring him again in against a garbage defense. And so bring him in against Miami.
Not a bad idea. So, all right. So there is this year's 2019 Earnestly Speaking podcast over under win totals NFL year number 8. Zachary, thank you so much. Before we go, Knowles and Florida State and Boise State this weekend. How excited are you?
I can't wait till week 2.
What's week 2 again?
I believe we play some scrub team.
Oh, so you basically
I am not looking forward to week 1. I think we get whitewashed.
I think Taggart's job's on the line. He's got to get at least 8 wins or it's over.
I believe Florida State's too cheap to fire him. So I think Taggart's there for all 4 years of his contract.
Wow, you think so?
Yes.
If this school goes down the tank again, if they miss another bowl season, that's not a good sign. I don't know. I can't see that. And if they're that cheap, man, then honestly, I may have to back off the team for a couple years.
Listen, why would you keep them around this year? After as bad a season as we had last year, what would be the point of bringing them back to begin with? Unless you're just going to say, we don't want to admit we made a mistake. It's either that or we're too cheap for the buyout.
I believe in also, giving a coach a second chance to turn around. And if the year 2 doesn't turn around, then and it's still bad, then just go away.
Florida State's had top 10 recruiting classes the last 4 years. He had plenty of players, and you couldn't do anything.
Well, let's hope he gets 8. If he gets 8 wins this year, I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, but I don't see us contending anywhere in the ACC. Obviously, Clemson has that taken care of. I mean, if we beat Miami this year, and look, if you win at least 1 of the 2 big games this year against Miami and Florida, I'm happy. Obviously, I'm on both wins, but the fact that you lost to both those schools, an embarrassing fact. Well, Miami game was close, actually. They lost that in the fourth quarter. But the Florida game was embarrassing.
Listen,
at home.
I'll take 5 victories on the season if we can just beat Miami and Florida.
Yeah. So like I said with the Giants, I don't mind them going 1-15 this year if that 1 win gets the Patriots. In Foxborough. So we'll go 0-8 at home.
Hey, listen, I'll take 2 victories over you. I don't mind that.
Anyway, Zach, we'll check in on this. Hopefully we'll talk to you during the year with the picks of the week if we get that going. And, yeah, it should be fun.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man, all right?
You too.
All right, man. Later.
Later.